Hello boys, good afternoon. Welcome to online class, and we are going to have our fifth class today in online platform. And I think you are joining classes and you are studying with your full concentration. But according to your participation, the participation is very poor. And we are seriously counting your presence, your classwork, your homework in every class. Some of the guys are just sharing their homework or classwork in comment section of the class, but most of the boys are not doing so. So I hope you will just be sincere to your class, to your works, and will also cooperate with us. Boys, we were discussing about the chapter current electricity, and in this chapter in last class we have discussed about the difference of resistance and specific resistance, and then we have talked about the effect of temperature on resistance. That means in case of conductive material, if the temperature rises, then the resistance also increases. But in terms of semiconductive material, as the temperature rises, the conductivity increases. That means resistance decreases. We have learned those topics in an earlier class, and we have known about fixed resistance and variable resistance. I think if you have followed the class with full concentration, you will be able to give answer to all those questions, because these are questions for your any kind of exam, especially for knowledge comprehensive type question. That is the difference of resistance and specific resistance, the difference of resistor or variable resistor. Then in case of conductor, I just want to give these questions as homework after finishing my class today. So if you have followed the class, I think there won't be problem in doing the solution. Then today we will start with the circuit. What is meant by circuit? A circuit is a alignment. The circuit is a alignment, or this is the combination of some equipment, some electrical equipments. For example, if we use resistor, capacitor, transistor, diode, using these parameters, using these components, we can design a circuit. And a circuit allows the current flow to through that circuit, and using different kinds of element we can design different types of circuit. Here we will get the basic concept of circuit. And here though a circuit can be consist of resistor, capacitor, transistor, diode, etc., but here we will just try to understand simple circuit with just using resistors. Before knowing about circuit or circuit, before knowing about the working principle of a circuit, we have to know some circuit equipment or some symbols that are used in circuit. For example, if we want to say about resistor, we have known about resistor. To symbolize resistor, this symbol is used to symbolize resistor in circuit. This is resistor, or instead of using this symbol, we can simply use this one also. This is also called resistor. But if we want to design variable resistor, as we know that resistor and variable resistor are not exactly same term. If we want to design variable resistor, that means the resistor that varies, that can be varied. So if we want to symbolize variable resistor, This is just like resistor. Here is a third point, as I have told in my earlier class that variable resistor has 3 points. We're seeing one point is this one, another is this one, and third point is this one, and this is called variable resistor, or this is the symbol of variable resistor. Or instead of using this one, we can also use this symbol for variable resistor. That means if there is a tick mark in a resistor, we will assume it as a variable resistor. That means that resistance can be the resistor of that resistance can be varied. Just like the same way, the symbol of cell, this is the symbol of cell, and if we want to say about battery, cell or battery are used as the source for power. That means we have learned that for a continuous flow of current, we have to ensure continuous potential difference between two ends. So for maintaining that one, external source or battery is connected, and the symbol of cell is this one, and the symbol of battery is this one. So cell is also used as the source. At the same time, battery is also used as a source for a potential difference. But what is the difference between cell and battery? Here we are observing that two element, that means battery and cell, have two different symbols, but the basic difference is between what is the basic difference between cell and battery. The basic difference is that cell is a unit part, and by combining two or more cell, we can get a battery. That means the battery has larger potential than a cell. Cell has lower potential than a battery, because by combining two or more cell, we can get a battery, and battery will give more power to us. So these are the difference between cell and battery. There are some other symbols in your book. If you just have the copy of your book with you, you can just follow these symbols, and by practicing, you have to practice by drawing all these symbols, because sometimes for knowledge based questions or MCQ type questions, these symbols comes as knowledge or MCQ type question. What is the symbol of capacitor? What is the symbol of cell? What is the symbol of fuse? Or if it comes as a knowledge based question, draw the symbol of cell, fuse and capacitor. 2 or 3 terms comes here for knowledge based question. So I hope you will practice all the symbols here, so that you can design a circuit using these components, and at the same time you can identify which is the symbol of which components for exam, for practical use also. Okay. And as we are telling about circuit, in circuit you have to keep in mind 3 points over here. That ABC, as mentioned ABC on your book. First point is the amount of current that comes out from the higher potential of a source or battery cell are flowing through the entire circuit. Just the same amount of the current comes back to the lower potential. For example, if we assume as a circuit from higher potential, the current just starts its movement, then the exact amount of current that comes from this higher potential of a circuit, then it, after flowing the whole circuit, the same amount of current just enters into the lower potential. As a battery or source has 2 potential, higher potential and lower potential. The current that starts to flow from higher potential will be in exact amount when it is entering to the lower potential. That is the point over here. দ্যাট মিনস একটা ব্যাটারি বা সোর্স থেকে, সোর্সের হায়ার পটেনশিয়াল থেকে যতটুকু কারেন্ট বের হবে সেটা পুরো সার্কিট মুভ করে যখন লোয়ার পটেনশিয়ালে এন্টার করবে, সেই সেম অ্যামাউন্ট অফ কারেন্টই সেখানে এন্টার করবে। অর্থাৎ এই ক্ষেত্রে কারেন্টের কোনো ডিস্ট্রাকশন আর অপচয় হবে না। সেকেন্ড পয়েন্ট ইজ the amount of current that enters at any point of a circuit, the same amount of current will come out from that point, and that is there is no creation or destruction of the current in a circuit. The amount of current that enters at any point of a circuit, just follow the point over here, the same amount of current will come out from that point. What is meant by this point? For example, if we assume a single point of, for example, this is a point of a circuit, so the amount of current entering into this point, for example I1, I2, and the amount of current leaving this point, for example, are I3 and I4. Here the tick mark or arrow mark is just indicating that I1 and I2 are entering. For example, this is point O. I1 and I2 current are entering into the point O, and I3 and I4 current are just leaving the point O. So according to last point that I have mentioned, that point B, that amount of current enters at any point of a circuit it will exactly be equal to the amount of current that will come out from that point. So এই পয়েন্টে, ও পয়েন্টে আমার এন্টার করছে কি পরিমাণ কারেন্ট I1 and I2, তারা এক্স্যাক্টলি সমান হবে কার? I3 plus I4, because the amount of current entering into the point are I1 and I2. I1 এবং I2 কারেন্ট ও পয়েন্টে এন্টার করছে, এবং amount of current leaving this point I3 and I4, I3 এবং I4 এই পয়েন্টটাকে লিভ করে আসছে বা এই পয়েন্ট থেকে বেরিয়ে আসছে যে কারেন্টটা, তারা পরস্পর সমান হবে। ঠিক আছে, অর্থাৎ টোটাল অ্যামাউন্ট অফ কারেন্ট won't change over here. The amount of current that enters will exactly be equal the amount the current leaving the point. This is just we are assuming as a point of a circuit. একটা সার্কিটে অনেকগুলো পয়েন্ট থাকতে পারে। For example, this is a simple circuit consisting of two resistors, and here is point A, point B, point C, point D. We can just symbolize as. So here A is a point, B is a point, just like that. We are assuming O is a point of a circuit. Our third point is, in a circuit, Ohm's law is true for what is the third point? In a circuit, Ohm's law is true for 2 points in any part. That is, if the potential difference of those 2 points is divided by the resistance of that part, the current flowing through the circuit can be determined. What is meant by this point? In a circuit, Ohm's law is true for 2 points in any part. That is, if the potential of difference of those 2 points is divided. For example, if we just follow this circuit over here, here is a resistance used between point B and C. So for determining the current flowing through this branch, as we are considering a voltage source here, this has higher potential and lower potential. The current will start flow from higher potential and it will move through the entire circuit. So the current will pass through the resistor also. Then what will be the current through this resistor? এই রেজিস্টরের across a current কত হবে সেটা মেজার করার জন্য আমরা কি করব? If the potential difference of those 2 points, এই যে রেজিস্টর দুইটা পয়েন্টের মাঝখানে কানেক্টেড between point B and C, যদি এদের potential differenceটা আমরা মেজার করতে পারি, and divided by the resistance of that part, এবং এই অংশের রেজিস্ট্যান্স দিয়ে তাকে ডিভাইড করতে পারি, then the current flowing through the circuit or through that resistor can be determined. এই যে রেজিস্টরের অ্যাক্রসে কারেন্ট কতটুকু ফ্লো হচ্ছে সেটা আমরা ডিটারমিন করতে পারবো। ফর এক্সাম্পল, here is voltage in this voltage source is consisting of V volt. V পরিমাণ ভোল্ট আমি এখানে অ্যাপ্লাই করছি, পজিটিভ এন্ড কানেক্টেড আছে ভি এর সাথে, অ্যান্ড নেগেটিভ এন্ড তোমরা যদি খেয়াল করো এটা গ্রাউন্ডেড আর্থের সাথে কানেক্টেড। দ্যাট মিনস এই এন্ডের পটেনশিয়াল হচ্ছে 0, নেগেটিভ এন্ড সরাসরি যেহেতু আর্থের সাথে কানেক্টেড, এই এন্ডের পটেনশিয়াল হচ্ছে 0 আর পজিটিভ এন্ডের পটেনশিয়াল হচ্ছে ভি ভোল্ট। দেন যখন এই কারেন্ট ফ্লো হওয়া শুরু হবে, আমরা বি আর সি এই দুই এন্ডের পটেনশিয়াল ডিফারেন্স বের করতে চাচ্ছি। তাহলে এ এন্ডের যা পটেনশিয়াল, বি এন্ডের পটেনশিয়াল ইজ জাস্ট সেম অ্যাজ এ, বিকজ এ আর বি এর মাঝখানে অন্য কোনো এলিমেন্ট নেই, সার্কিট এলিমেন্ট নেই, রেজিস্টর নেই, ক্যাপাসিটর নেই, অন্য কিছু নেই, জাস্ট এ অ্যান্ড বি আর কানেক্টেড বাই আ simple wire. So the potential of A and potential of B will exactly be equal. A পয়েন্টের যা পটেনশিয়াল, বি পয়েন্টের পটেনশিয়াল জাস্ট সেম। A পয়েন্টের পটেনশিয়াল কত? A point is directly connected to the positive end of the battery, কাজেই পজিটিভ এন্ডের যা পটেনশিয়াল এই পয়েন্টের পটেনশিয়ালও তাই। পজিটিভ এন্ডের পটেনশিয়াল বলা হচ্ছে V, so A পয়েন্টের পটেনশিয়ালও V, then the potential of B will also be V, তাহলে B এর পটেনশিয়াল আমরা পেলাম V। And now what about the point C? Here D and C is directly connected to the earth or ground. This symbol is used as ground. Ground means এর কোনো পটেনশিয়াল নেই, গ্রাউন্ডের বা আর্থের পটেনশিয়াল 0 ধরা হয়, ঠিক আছে। সো যেহেতু সি আর ডি তাদের উভয় পটেনশিয়াল 0, সি এর পটেনশিয়ালও 0, দ্যাট মিনস বি আর সি এই দুই এন্ডের মাঝখানে পটেনশিয়াল ডিফারেন্স কত পাচ্ছি আমরা? ভি মাইনাস 0। Okay, then what will be the current through these resistor? According to the last point C, the current will be from Ohm's law, I is equals V divided by R. আমরা যদি একটা simple example দিয়ে এটা follow করার চেষ্টা করি, then it will be much better for us to understand. For example, এইখানেই আমি instead of using resistor এই সার্কিটটাতে এখানে জাস্ট একটা ওয়্যার ইউজ করলাম, জাস্ট সেম অ্যাজ আওয়ার টেক্সট কপি, অ্যান্ড দিস পয়েন্ট ইজ গ্রাউন্ডেড, অ্যান্ড হিয়ার উই আর অ্যাপ্লাইং 5 volt potential as a source, and the resistance is of for example 5 ohm, ঠিক আছে। ধরলাম 5 ohmer একটা রেজিস্ট্যান্স বি আর সি এন্ডের মাঝখানে কানেক্টেড, আর ভোল্টেজ সোর্স হচ্ছে 5 ভোল্টের, ডি আর সি এন্ড গ্রাউন্ডেড অর্থাৎ গ্রাউন্ডের সাথে কানেক্টেড। দেন হোয়াট উইল বি দ্য কারেন্ট থ্রু দিস রেজিস্টর or the 5 ohm resistor? We have to determine that one. 5 ohm resistor এর across এ কারেন্ট কত হবে? So সেটা বের করার জন্য according to Ohm's law, the current will be I is equals V divided by R. But what is this V? This V is the potential difference between point B and between point C. We have to determine the potential difference between B and C. So for determining that, we have to calculate the potential of B first. The potential of B here is A point is directly connected to positive end of the battery, and the positive end is consisting of 5 volt. That means the potential of A point is also 5 volt, and A and B is directly connected by a single wire. So the potential of B and A are also same. The potential of A is 5 volt, then the potential of B is also 5 volt. What about C? C and D is directly connected to the ground, so the potential of C and D is 0. So here is the potential difference between B and C is potential difference between B and C. What is the potential difference? That is, for example, V dash is equals higher potential minus lower potential. That means 5 volt. So what will be the current through these 5 ohm resistor? I is equals V dash divided by R, as there is only one resistor and we are determining the current across this one. So V dash is equals 5 and R is equals also 5 ohm. Then dividing this one, we get the current through this resistor will be 1 ampere, because the unit of current is 1 ampere. So by this way we can determine the current through any resistor or any part of a circuit. If we follow the second diagram of the textbook, here this one is just opposite of the first one. In first one, point A is connected to the positive end of the source, and the D is connected to the negative end, and then it is connected to the ground. In second diagram, A is connected to the ground connection, and D and C is connected to the negative part of the source. So in this case, what will be the potential difference between B and C? If we determine this one, at first the potential of A, as this is grounded, this potential is 0, and B is also connected to the ground, its potential is also 0. And what about the point D? If we apply a voltage V amount of here, as this is negative N, then the potential of D is minus V, and potential of C is also minus V. Okay, so then what is the potential difference over here? The potential difference will be over here. The negative end, that means from higher potential to lower potential, the current will pass from higher potential to lower potential. So on that case, the potential will be same as before, because if you just calculate the potential of point B and C, then you will get, we will start always from A, and then the potential of we will just start with the potential of positive end. The potential for positive end is 0, then minus the potential of negative end, just like the same as the as before. Here we were assuming that potential of positive end is V and the negative end is 0, that means V minus 0. Here the potential of positive end is 0 minus the potential of negative end is minus V. So ultimately the potential difference between B and C is V. So as the magnitude of the potential of negative end is changing over here, but the potential difference between B and C end are not changing, so the current will be same as before, the previous, as this was for previous circuit. So if you just make some practice using some circuits, then it will be much more clear to you. And in our next class we will try to have some more discussion about circuit. And for today's class I want to just give a homework for you. First one is according to my last lecture, first question is difference between resistance and specific resistance and specific resistance. And second one is you have to draw the symbols. You have to draw all the symbols that are mentioned on your book, that are used in circuit, symbols for a circuit, symbols that are used in a circuit. All the symbols you have I have shown you on from your book. You have to draw all those symbols including their name. Okay, these tools are for your homework, and in our next class we will try to have some more discussion about circuit. And till then, goodbye, take care, thank you.